Oh, y'all gotta come show us off with your really nice banner.
But they work really well together. It's like more the corporate hands. Let's go.
And what are we here to talk about? We're here to talk about the corporate takeover of public education. It is happening all over the country. In Oakland, it is manifest in the Common Enrollment system in an attempt to blur the line and blur the distinction between charter schools and public schools. All across this country, the 1% has drained the resources of public services in order to prove and then say they're a failure. And our solution is a market-based, corporate-driven solution. Is that the solution? No! That's not the solution. It's not what we're standing for here in Oakland. We will fight privatization wherever we find it.
My name is Kim Davis. I'm the parent of 2 public school students, and I'm a member of OUSD Parents United. As parents, we want to know that our district is working hard to ensure that every child can attend an excellent, stable, nurturing, and inspiring public school. We want our children to learn in classrooms that are adequately resourced and led by experienced teachers committed to their success. We want our school board members to act independently and in the best interest of our OUSD schools and our students.
I'm Caitlin Everett. I'm a special ed teacher at Edinburgh Middle School, and I'm here today to speak on behalf of our students and the teachers of the Special Ed OEA Caucus. Specifically, I want to speak about the fact that charter schools do not serve the neediest of our students. They don't serve students who have medical needs. They don't serve students who need aids, who need extra services. In fact, I was just speaking with a teacher, I hope she doesn't mind, that just recently received 3 charter students who were kicked out all at once by their charter school and sent to her public school. And so what we want to say is that if charter schools are not public schools.
Hi, my name's Ishmael Armendariz. I'm a special education teacher. I'm also on the executive board of OEA, and I just want to highlight the role that some of the funders that are funding charter schools play in communities of color. We're getting the same money from people who fund private prisons. They come into our communities and they pollute us, and then they're asking us to educate our children.
My name is Mona Trevino. I'm a mother of 2 kids. My older son, who just graduated from high school, eventually got a job at a charter school that he went to. I was the parent liaison and the school secretary, and worked there for about 3 years. And I saw things there that shook me to my core. The fact is that charter schools have been growing all over Oakland for the past decade, and that's not a random occurrence. This is happening for 2 reasons. The state and federal government has turned its back on public schools that primarily serve low-income students of color. Also, private interests have invested in charter programs across the country in low-income communities of color. Yes, many of our families are getting served in charter schools. Yes, there are a handful of charter schools that work to be culturally competent. That isn't reason enough to give away our public institutions, where all families and children have a right to education. It's not reason enough to be silent or casual about what happens to our families who require special education supports and families most in need. The fact that some families are getting served at charter schools isn't enough to disregard the mothers and children in crisis who aren't measuring up and are being pushed out every year. And it's not reason enough not to question why private charter operators are so determined to open schools in every poor urban neighborhood in the country, backed by corporate funders. So I want to talk a little bit about parent choice. That's the favorite story that charter leaders and supporters tell around what we have to do. We have to protect parent choice. So I want to expand that idea and ask that these groups not take away our choice around wanting transparency for their budgets as we have with public schools. I want to ask these groups not to take away our choice in having a say in how many kids are in a class, and how much support and protections our teachers have. So let's demand that Educate 78 and the Education Fund not take our choice to keep public dollars for public schools that need more resources and are accountable to everybody. Thank you.
A little play. A little play.
The schools are a mess. I have too many students and they keep on giving me tests to give them. I don't have any books. I don't know what to do.
Well, you know what? We need a new enrollment system. I'm Educate 78. I have just what you need to solve all your problems. Have this money. You can have this money to buy our new enrollment system.
Wait a second. That money has strings attached.
You get the money if you put charters into your new enrollment system.
But do charter schools have to follow the state education code?
Well, no, but
Do charter schools have to deal with special ed kids?
well, no.
Do
but,
charter schools have to work with English learners?
well, no.
Do
but,
charter schools have to, are they accountable to anyone?
well, no, but
Well, I don't think we should take your money.
Go away. Come on, we'll take the money. We'll take the money. Come on.
You're just a wolf in sheep's clothing. And now on to where he really lives, the New School Venture Fund.
Ho ho! Charter schools have got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! Charter schools have got to go! Homeschool!
Our school!
What kind of school?
Public school!
Hey hey! Ho ho!
Common Enrollment has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Common Enrollment has got to go.
So right here is where New Schools Venture Fund is housed. It is a nationwide NGO headquartered here in Oakland. So some of the factoids that we have for you. This is a venture fund that has already put $150 million to over 300 charter schools around the country, serving over 157,000 students. Annually, they receive $23 million from the following: Target, Dell, Walmart, Bloomberg, Gates, JP Morgan Chase, Pearson, Carnegie, and Eli Broad. Ah, home sweet home. Yes, very cozy here.
What does this mean? New Schools Venture Fund?
Oh, don't you worry your pretty little head about that. We're here to help out. We have the money and we'll give it to the schools to do just what we want. Common enrollment, small schools, here today, gone tomorrow. We just give seed money to make you change your ways. When it runs out, you're stuck with the problems you had before. So give us the money. Come on. We'll take it. We're not picky.
Wait a second. Let's think about what makes sense for our schools. What is this place? Venture fund? As in venture capital? You're not planning to help children. You just want to make money off our students.
These greedy teachers, they always want more money. I don't know why they're always talking about us wanting more money. Whatever, we'll take the money. Come on. Give us the money. We'll take it.
Yeah, we're going to the OUSD offices at 1000 Broadway, where they are co-located with Oakland Public Education Fund.
Down with Common Enrollment.
Down with Common Enrollment.
Up with public schools.
Down with Common Enrollment.
Down with Common Enrollment.
Up with public schools.
Up with public schools.
Here we are, home sweet home, Oakland Unified School District downtown offices. Yes, it is very cozy here. In fact, let me slip into something more comfortable. Yes, much better. With all the money that people give to you, I get 7 to 15%. so we get money, but you always get a cut.
Of course. And then you'll spend it just the way we tell you, because that way we get more donors.
But you're selling out the district with no regard with what's best for children.
We're getting money to try new projects.
And I always make sure that I get a cut, so you don't get too cozy.
So I have to ask for more than we need so that we can pay you to administer it?
Yeah, that's exactly how it works now. That's exactly what I want to happen.
Whatever happened to public education? These guys are in bed together. Don't let the children see.
It is school board member Rosie Torres, so please give her a round of applause for being out here. Thank you.
Anyway, I definitely am concerned as a school board member that lots of unusual conduct is happening, that the board is actually not doing business publicly about who is working in our schools, consultants working with our district. And yes, my daughter is in the public schools, so I'm concerned as a parent, not just as a board member, about whether or not we will still have public schools in the future if this trend continues. Because if this is not the topic of the day in 20, 30 years after a takeover, then corporations can just turn around and walk away. And what will happen to public education? And that's probably the nightmare that keeps me up, is what would happen if this was a complete charter district and one day they decide to go into another arena. We'll be left with empty buildings, no teachers, no education for students who can't afford to go to private schools, students who can't afford to up and move to another city that will have public education. So it's definitely worrisome to me. Why are things happening in the way that they are with all of this new leadership that's in Oakland that isn't from Oakland? And so I don't think they really know how to serve us. That's my big concern. So thank you.
Hello, I'm Kathleen Carroll. I'm working on an initiative to repeal charter school law. So we talk about the problem of money going to politicians, going to the wealthy, our tax dollars. Well, I actually have an amount. In filing all the paperwork with the Secretary of State and the Attorney General's office, we got a fiscal report came back that says over $5 billion with a B is going to charter schools, and if we shut them all down, those will go back to the traditional public schools. So we have some petitions, and if you're interested in repealing the Charter School Act of 1992, we need your signature today.
I really want to appreciate all the people that worked hard to make this happen, to do the research about the different organizations that are trying to stay as secret as they can while they undermine our public schools and try to take things away from our students. I really appreciate all of you for coming out. Thank you so much. We will do more actions like this in the future, and I hope that you'll be there with us too.